Hey Cheyenne, how you doing? You know, you've heard me say this before, and I think one of the things that I find over and over again in your work is that the one thing I keep saying to myself when I look at your work is Cheyenne is a student that cares about her work, and it's just obvious in every one of your presentations. You really take the time to make your work to present your work in a way that is very, very professional. And you know, you always take into consideration color and concept as well as layout decisions. And I'm just really pleased with what you're doing. I think you're doing fantastic work as a student. This is no exception either, your work here. You know, the presentation and just the way the extra little steps that you've taken just to add this professional touch, almost a presentational professionalism to your work. I think it's worth mentioning, and so I thought I would. These are good. I think this Dido over Avenir and then Avenir over Dido, I think it's a really good idea to show your intent. And let me just take a quick look at your final typefaces. I mean, it really is gorgeous. I think that, boy, it's so well done. It almost looks like a professionally designed typeface, and I'm just really proud of what you've done here. I think there's a couple of areas where Dido is really coming through, specifically those um, those strong contrasts between the strokes, the thin strokes and the thicker strokes, and the stems and spines of the letters, as you mentioned. So preserving that in your typeface, I thought was very smart. A couple of comments I would recommend. This cover right here, I would not add the texture to the actual typeface name itself, because right now it's diluting the visibility of the typeface name Divenir. It should be set in that green without the transparency. I think it would be a stronger presentation. Right now it's a little difficult to read, and I'm going to go ahead and say the same thing over here. I would definitely present that in white with the textured background. And then this is just gorgeous. Really nice job. Interesting, really interesting color palette. I think this is a color palette that a lot of students would be afraid of. And I'm wondering where you came up with this color palette, because I think it's just gorgeous. I really do. I think it took a lot of guts to use this color palette in your presentation, but to me, it worked beautifully. So that said, it looks like you've got a little bit of difference in the colors here than here. These seem to be a little bit more muted than they are over here. That's probably just a PDF rendering. But again, over here, that I would take the transparency off these and just present your letter forms as they are. Because right now you're kind of, you really want to show the shapes of your letter forms in a presentational and a promotional your display poster and your promotional areas where you're showing display and promotion in both areas. I think it would be a lot more effective to show the actual letter forms without diluting their shapes by adding the texture. So again, fantastic job. Just love the work, Cheyenne. Love the work. Love what you're doing. Keep it up. Thanks.